Good morning, Dub, and welcome back to KANG News. My name is Artem.
And I'm Kyanna Johnson. Happy almost Halloween, Kangs. On this Halloween edition of Kang News, we hope you have a safe, COVID-friendly Halloween celebration. We're sorry we can't join you from the Kang News studio, but here's a shot of the news set all decked out for Halloween. By the way, Artem, I really like your costume. What are you going to be doing this Halloween?
Oh, I'm just going to be creating some happy little accidents. Also, I do think there's someone behind you.
I don't see anything.
Oh, well, we don't have time for that. But what we do have time is for ASB's very own Halloween event. You still have time to submit your most frightening photos of costumes, pumpkins, decorations, old Halloween photos, or basically anything related to and from this haunting holiday. Take a look at some LDub's teachers and admins decked out for Halloween in recent and not so recent years.
Submit your pictures to the LDub ASB Instagram at lwhs.asb or to any of your link leaders. All students are encouraged to participate. Get in the Halloween spirit and in the Kang spirit. That is, if you dare.
We have obviously gone through a lot of change this year regarding the whole pandemic. One of the biggest changes for teachers and students alike is that we barely get to see each other's faces in class or any other time during school hours. We understand that it's hard to feel connected with your peers and the teachers in the school. So, as an effort to try and connect more with one another, LDUB is making a move to change the picture icons in Microsoft Teams to be your yearbook photo or senior portrait.
This is required for all students beginning November 5th. Please check your Skyward and select Student Info. There you will be able to upload your yearbook photo into Teams. Once you change your photo in Teams, log out and log back in to fully update your photo. If you're having difficulties, your homeroom teacher will be able to help you. Thank you for cooperating and assisting in creating a community in this remote environment.
Listen up, Kangs! Sports season has arrived. If you're planning to participate in sports this year, please make sure to sign up on the final forms today. You can find the link on the athletics page of the LWHS website. Registering now helps ensure that you get the latest information about start dates and help solidify planning. Thank you for registering.
Very own hiking club is now looking for new members and officers. They meet every Monday from 4 to 4:30. Come help plan their first social distance hike and other hiking related activities. The next meeting is Monday, November 9th. Contact Ms. Dominici at kdominici@lwsd.org if you would like to learn more.
We all know that online learning can be pretty spooky. Let's take some time to learn more ways with another episode of Perspectives on Remote Learning with Jessica Lang.
Have you been seeing an increase, decreased, or pretty much stagnant change in terms of student interactions?
It's hard. It's hard to say. I would say that 100% it's been decreased, right? Because my office was always open, and so students could come in at any time. You needed to drop by, you needed something, or you wanted to check in, and you wanted to give good news, you wanted to talk about sad news, talk about a friend. Our offices are always open, so that drop by is so much easier. Now, when I'm talking to students, I'm finding that they're telling me, they're like, I just feel like I don't know when I can drop by with you anymore. Like, do I just call you or do I just email you? It's hard when you don't have a face, right? Again, I can just say this because you are in my alpha, Jessica. It's also hard to not see my students' faces.
Yeah.
I am a person who I need to see your face. I need to see, like, what is your face saying? Are you sad? Are you scared? Are you happy? Are you doing okay? Are you content? I need to read your face, and teachers do that as well when they're trying to see, do you understand the content? Do you have a face that's like, what are you talking about? And when we don't have those face-to-face interactions, it's really hard to do that. So I think that that's intimidating for students right now. I think trying to figure this out, whose comfort level is what, is multi-leveled for all of us. So because of that, I think I've seen a decrease in some kids, but an increase in other kids who are like, this is their jam. They have been waiting all high school for it to be away from high school, and they are thriving in this environment, and they are all about typing me up and chatting away. So I think that it's just pushing on different people's strengths and different people's insecurities a little bit differently.
Yeah, I mean, to touch on your point about having that like face-to-face interaction, I know that teachers that I've spoken to before have said that it's been very challenging for them because obviously they can't require students to put on their cameras for equity and privacy concerns, but
Yep.
it obviously is a benefit to see if in terms of if they're understanding the concept, if they have questions, stuff like that. So I think that kind of visual aspect of it is tricky
Yeah.
with remote learning this year. It's definitely difficult.
Well, and then just
Um,
imagine
yeah.
how weird this is. Miss Adams and I are good friends, and I remember talking to her like just last week, and we're talking about her class, and she goes, "Just imagine I'm looking at my screen and it's all black boxes. Like I feel like I'm like, talking to a group of kids, but then I'm also like, where are you? Like, are you there? Are you, do you get it? Do you not? I want to ask you, I want to look at your face and be like, okay, the way I said that was super weird. I need to reframe that. And instead of calling the student out, which normally I can look at their face and it can be reflected. And we're just not able to do that right now. And that's so
I
tricky.
know. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Um, in terms of this kind of leads into it kind of relates to the student interaction question. What topics have students been coming to you most about, you feel like? Is it scheduling, college prep, mental health, or does it just vary?
Yes, yes, and yes. Yeah, all of those things. And you know, it goes in kind of the typical wave also. You know, there was a
Yeah,
lot of scheduling. And then now we're moving into college apps, right? And so we're in
yeah,
the thick
yeah,
of it right now. And so there's tons of that. And typically during this time, you know, we've got our high school and beyond day that is pretty geared towards just seniors working with counselors on how to fill out your Common App, how to do coalition, how to apply to a 2-year transfer degree, how to get information about the military. You know, we're having face-to-face conversation about this, and now we can't. And so trying to get that information and
yeah.
disseminate that out so that students are still getting the same information is really hard. And it's hard for us to ask of students even more. It's hard for us to be like, I know you've been in class for 7 periods online and kind of going a little bit bananas, but you know what? Why don't you join for just one more and come and meet us in this? It's just a lot to ask.
I
And
know.
so, and because of that, it leads right into like the mental health. I think some students, they're just straight up lonely, you know, where I just said there's people who are thriving. There's also really social people that are like, oh my gosh, where are people? You know, that's me. I like my job because I get to be around people all the time. And I really like being home with my kids, but there's something to be said about being around a 7 and a 4-year-old all day long. I want to talk to you guys. I want to help you. I want to do some stuff. I want to know where you're going and what do you want to do? And let's plan for this. And oh my gosh, somebody's losing their mind about this. Let's fix this. You know, we all want to be in it and do it and be
Yeah,
helpful.
for sure. That kind of leads into my next question, which is because we are remote and there isn't as much student to staff interaction, how have you and the Department of Counseling been keeping in touch with students recently?
Well, we've been emailing a ton. We email so much, and we call a lot. You know, it's also really interesting. We have access to go ahead and call you guys randomly as well. So I could call you if you're not like on your phone as well. Um, which is again just weird. I'm calling you now, where before I would send a pass for you, or you would email me and you would stop by. And I keep saying you because that's what you would do. And so it's just interesting now how everything is us also having to get really creative. We're having to use redo all of our presentations completely and do them online so that you guys have access to them, because in the past we just did them in person when we do like parent nights and whatnot. We can't do those now. Okay, so let's get online. Let's start doing Teams live events. So we've been doing things like that. It's also really tricky for us to get outreach to you guys because you're getting so many emails. I know you're getting emails, like we're getting emails where you get like hundreds in a day. By the time you get down to ours, you're like, oh my gosh, I just can't get, I mean, you're getting tons, right?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah. And so we're trying to do outreach while simultaneously not becoming a burden. We don't want it to be more on your plate that makes it so that you guys are exhausted. And so trying to make sure that everything is really accessible. Our website is completely packed with information that's super helpful. And so we really hope that kids get out there and get to our website. All of our information is so available, all college information. We're actually updating it every single day so that as we're getting stuff, there's more info on there. We also have our LW Counseling Instagram account that we're plugging stuff out, like the events that we're doing. Here's dates to remember, college visits for you to join. We're doing that and blasting that quite a bit every day.
Our last question is, with mental health being a big part of COVID-19 and quarantine, what is some advice you would like to give to students who may be struggling right now?
I think that there's something really, really hard about this moment, but there's also something really, really beautiful. We are all in it together, and it sounds so cheesy, but it is so real. When we think of, struggle is struggle. No matter how big, how small it is, we all can relate to struggle in this moment. And I think the hardest thing that I'm coming across with some of my students is that they just don't know that help is there and willing and open and waiting for them to reach out. All of us counselors are highly trained professionals, but more than that, we're really, really invested at LW, and we really, really love our community and want so badly for you guys to be happy, healthy, thriving people. And this scenario is really kind of pushing against all of that, right?
Yeah, of course.
And so I would say reach out to your counselors. We want to be helpful. We want to actually share and partner in this really tricky spot. We are getting parents who are emailing us that are really desperate. They're really, really worried about their students. We're getting students worried about other students. We're getting students from different schools worried about other students. Everybody is really looking out for each other. And so reach out. We have a lot of support at LW. We have a lot of skill. We have a lot of care, and we want to spread it to everybody. We want to be helpful.
Thank you so much, Ms. Rule, for sharing, and thank you to Jessica for putting this interview together. I'd say that was scary good.
Agreed. Well, that's it for this week. Thanks for watching as always, and I hope you have a very scary Saturday. My name is Artem Melnick.
Kyanna Johnson, have a great Halloween, Kangs.